Denise and Joyce, I'm so excited to chat with you tonight about the shoe store and the wine shop story of learning marketing together and sharing tips.
It's so good to be here, Martin. Thanks so much for having us.
We appreciate that. Say it was Denise's. She started it all. Whenever I was in business for a little while, and then we just started talking with each other. And I had some questions about marketing, and she goes, you need to talk. So let's go talk to Alan Cook over at Malin. And so that's how it all got started. We spent a lot of time with Alan, and he opened a lot of doors for us because we got to meet you. And that's how it all got started as far as trying to figure out this journey that we've been on for the last few years.
Denise, I got to meet you in one of the classes out there that was teaching, and then come to your shoe store. And then you've also helped out with the town. Is that right?
Yes. And it was so wonderful getting to meet you, Martin, because you took away the fear of getting in front of the camera. And what do we say? Get over it. Just get over it.
Do it.
That's it. That's it. And do it. Tell me about beginning and how it started driving business.
Well, just reaching out with videos for the store, people got to feel like they got to know you and see what kind of person you are, and they feel like they already had started a conversation. And so when they come in the store now, it's like, oh, I see you on Facebook all the time, and it's always a great conversation starter also, because then we immediately start talking about what they saw on Facebook and what they liked, and it just is a really nice introduction. Well, one funny story too was this gentleman came into the store to buy some shoes for his wife, and he walked in and he was like, you're famous. And I just start busting out laughing because I think he's joking, and he's like, no, I'm serious. And I'm like, what? And he said, oh yeah, everybody watches you on Facebook and Instagram all the time. You're famous.
And I've had people say, oh, we just love you guys' videos. We love it when you all do one together. And so we haven't done one in a while together, but it's been busy, but that's a good thing.
Excellent. You just got done with Christmas. So obviously hopefully that was a lot of business you got. And Joyce, I love that you said you weren't comfortable and you were putting some of them up there, but you got results, and that's what mattered.
Yeah.
So that speaks to so many people.
Well, I am not interested in doing videos, and I do remember I did make the comment one time. It was really hard to do a video by yourself, but punching. And Martin sent me a remote that I could use, made it much easier for me to do my videos, and I was a lot less hassle with my little remote that he sent me. So, and people love it whenever they say, we saw you on Facebook, or we saw you on Instagram. And you just you just have to get over it. And we did bloopers, and sometimes we would stop and redo, and after we'd done a few, we just kept on going, and we left the bloopers in them because it made us real. I mean, none of them were perfect. And that's the nice thing about it. It's like people, if you do make a mistake, or if you do something little off the wall, they'll come in and say, I saw you. That was so funny what you did on Facebook. So
I've got a question for both of you, and maybe just you'll have different perspectives. So I'm curious to know, how did you come up with ideas for what to talk about in your videos, or what to make what the content should be?
As far as when we partner our videos, we came up with a little cross promotion. And with every purchase from one of our stores, our customer gets a coupon. Say they buy something from Main Street Shoes. And then when I ring them up, I attach this coupon, and so then they can come down to Burnsville Wine and get 10% off their purchase.
And then we come down to Burnsville Wine and they make a purchase that I give them a coupon and say, take this up to Main Street Shoes and you can save 10% on your shoe purchase. And they go, oh, you got something going here. And yeah, we do. So it's real interesting. Everybody, and I've not had anybody say, oh, no, I don't want one. I say, give it to your wife. She'll love you for it. Women love shoes. And he'll say, my wife has way too many shoes. No, she doesn't.
That's why you get to sleep indoors, so don't complain about it, right, Joyce?
Right. As far as one of the things too, like when we do our individual videos for our stores, I a lot of times do like a new season. Like I'll just highlight a certain style of shoe, and I know Joyce does her wine tastings.
Well, when I had wine tastings every Friday from April 1st until December 9th, except the Friday after Thanksgiving. I had a wine tasting every Friday, and I did a video every week showing what wines we were tasting and who was going to be here. Shoo! I need a break. So no more weekly wine tastings. We're just doing them occasionally now, but I let people know about what we were tasting that week. Like I said, every week I did one. So I got over it really quickly, when I had to do one every week. Or I chose to do one every week.
Dave, one of the things I loved is you could see somebody was coming in to lead the wine tasting or giving advice. And Joyce, you were kind of pulling them into the camera and go, "We're live. Here we go."
Yeah.
And that's what really grabs it. That's something you won't get out of a big box store. That's something that's the character and the heart of a small business that's often hidden because they won't do this.
Well, I know sometimes I have nonprofit fundraisers, and so on Fridays, and so what I do is I'll ask the person that's part of that organization. I said, "Will you come in and do a video with me?" And they're like, "Yeah." I said, "It's okay." And so they come in, and I said, "Okay, now here we go." And I introduce them. I said, and I just tell them, I said, "Just tell us a little bit about your organization." And so they get on the video, get on and do it. And it's always less than a minute. And we just do one take, and they're okay with it. If they're not okay, we'll try it again, but for the most part, it's like, oh, that wasn't hard at all. It's that get over it.
Get over it.
So, yeah. And that really helped as far as promoting the fundraiser. Having that person that was part of that organization, having them there, and some of them felt they were really quite comfortable in front of the camera or behind the camera, wherever they were, and so it worked. People would come in and support the organization and talk with the folks and have a glass of wine, and it was a really nice community building type thing. That's one of the things that my customers have said to me is, like, you really do try to build community. And so people come in, they make a donation, taste some wine, talk with the folks that's doing the fundraiser. And so it's a win-win situation. I get more sales, and they get the donations, all the donations that are made that night, they get them. Plus people find out about, like, oh, I didn't know what y'all did. And so they win by having other people find out that they would never be able to. They're my customers, but yet they're finding out more about organizations in the community. Even though we're a small community, a lot of people were like, I didn't know we had that here. And so that's a nice way of letting folks know about what we have here in the community.
So now, obviously, it was a surprise for Denise. I know when you said somebody came into the store and said, "By the way, you're famous." So, but I'm curious. Was there anything else that surprised either of you about the responses to any of the videos that you made? As far as, did anybody see a video and were there any that people got excited about or liked more that was not what you were expecting, or just anything in general about that was unexpected about the whole process once you went through it?
Folks say we're just real cute. You guys are so cute. We love your videos. And I'm like, really?
And I think I was surprised by a couple things too. More people watch the videos than actually will like it or comment.
Yeah.
And that has been really surprising to me, because I always look at the likes and I always try to respond to comments. And there'll be people that come in and I'm like, well, I know I didn't get that many likes on a video, but they came in for that specific video. And so obviously people watch and sometimes they don't like it or comment, but I hope people don't realize that people are watching, even if they don't like it.
Scrolling by.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. And then, oh, I did have a surprise just a couple weeks ago. In my shoe store, I decorated the whole place with something from local artists, another local merchant store. So my whole store is very eclectic, but it's all decorated with local businesses. And so I just did a video walking around. I didn't even think about shoes, just walked around because people compliment on my decor all the time. And several people came in that week or two after, said, I just had to come and look around your store. I saw that video. And so it promoted a lot of other businesses. And that was a lovely surprise to me.
Once you get used to it, it's sort of easy, but it does take a few times to get used to it. And then it's like get over it and just do it, and you'd be surprised the number of people that I always like to go see who likes it. And there's like, oh my gosh, I don't know who these people are. I've never seen them before, or never, they've not been in my store, but they liked it.
Well, and I think you made a good point as far as the fact that a lot of people, they do what's called lurking online. They'll watch videos, but not comment or share or like or make any visible interactions. And, I think it kind of underscores for me the so many different marketing strategies that they take time to work, and you don't see what's happening behind the scenes. You don't see the way that they're influencing people. And I think, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, but it seems my impression has been a lot of the time small business owners will stop doing something too quickly because they've decided it's not working, but really it was actually working a lot better than it seemed to. You just didn't see it yet. I'm not sure if either of you have any thoughts on that.
Consistency is a big thing in small business. It's like I used to be open 5 days a week, but I was there 5 days a week. Well, then when COVID hit, I cut back. I was allowed to stay open because I was essential, but I was told I was essential, so I cut it down to 3 days a week. And so I have stayed at 3 days a week consistently since 2020, and I'm not going to open anymore, but 3 days a week. My sales have increased every year. But I've been consistent. I do an update every week, every Monday. For almost since I've been in business, I've done a Monday update. And, not that many people see it, but I've had people say, I start my Monday mornings by looking at your update. And so that's another thing that comes out on Facebook. It comes out on Facebook along with an email. So but being consistent, being there whenever you say you're going to be is so important as a small business, because people, you can train your customers. You really can. You might not think so, but they are trainable. And so, I've been able to just stay open 3 days a week, and some people have complained, but they've gotten over it because I'm not going to be open more than 3 days a week. I don't need it. I might lose some business, but my business is okay just being there 3 days a week.
Well, it gives you the bandwidth to be fully present when you're there too. I mean, I guarantee if you're there 5 days a week and exhausted, the end of the week they're like borderline grumpy and owners sitting there, and it's like, but if you've set that balance and you're building a following. And what I love, Dave, is to talk about the community. See, that's the local people learning what's great in their own community is another service you all are providing. Because if someone walks through town and meets one of those people and goes, well, what's going on? Most of the time they'll go nothing, because they don't even know what's great in their own community.
Well, it's one of the things that I do when I have wine tastings is I always put out balloons in the front of the store and at the back of the store. And I've actually had people come in and say, I saw balloons flying, so I had to come in and see what was going on. Believe it or not.
I love that.
And it's just a simple thing as 2 balloons outside. And it's amazing and I've done that when I have a wine tasting, I do that every Friday. And so people see balloons, and so they stop by. They
Of
come
course,
and see
that
what's
works
going on.
for a wine shop. It'd be harder to pull off with a car dealership and all the other dealerships. do the same thing, but,
Yeah.
Because they always have them up there, right, Dave?
Yeah,
Yeah.
unless you've got a massive hot air balloon, you really want to take it to the next level. But yeah.
Yeah, that's excellent. And I'd like you also talk about how you play off of each other, because I guarantee, knowing the two of you for a while, it might be, Denise, you might see an idea for a video for Joyce or vice versa that you can't see yourself. And that's so important to work with someone else that might, I got an idea. Now, you might not do it, but helping each other see creative and new content idea.
It's so funny you said that, because we just did that before we came on here. We were doing videos for each other. And Joyce has these great clocks that she sells in the store. And I was like, Joyce, we need to do like a reel with these. So we're going to put it together after we get off with you guys tonight. and she's always so great too about, like, when she comes by the shoe store, she's like, Denise, you've got to do a video or a picture about this. And I'm like, I hadn't thought of that. So collaboration, especially when, you respect the other business person so much too. Like, we come up with a lot of great ideas. And
We did shenanigans for St. Patrick's Day. We both had a little sign about shenanigans, and this one was you buy something at Burnsville Wine, and you can go to Main Street Shoes and get a prize. And you gave out socks, and I don't remember what I gave out, but she said if you go to Burnsville Wine, I think I gave out a stopper or something,
Yeah,
so
sure.
and that didn't cost us anything. I mean, just
Small.
very minimal. It's fun. And we actually had some college kids that were home for vacation. They loved it. They bought something from me, came down to Joyce, bought a bottle of wine from Joyce. Then they came back up to my store to buy something else so they could get another prize and get
That's
another prize.
great.
They were having the best time.
They did. But we're all the time trying to come up with things that we can do together, just to promote each other and just have something different, just a little different, shoes and wine and whatever. And so it just sort of goes together.
Yeah.
Now that you've done it, have you had any other people starting to like sniff around and think about and wonder what you're up to and considering it? Because it usually takes a while. It's kind of like Stone Soup. You're the ones that got the pot and the water in the town, and it takes a while for people to see what you're doing, to go, maybe one day I'll do that.
At Christmas,
Yeah.
My cousin gave me, she goes, you need to do an elf on the shelf thing with the wine or whatever. And I thought, oh my gosh. So I came up with a tipsy elf. And so I had Brianna, she made a little video, and I bought 15 elves from the Dollar Tree, and I had 15 businesses in Burnsville. I said, can I put this elf in your store and you hide it? And then if a person, when they find it, they bring the elf to my store and they can get $10 off their purchase. Well, I think just about all the 15 of the elves were returned to me. And I had one little lady, she went into Main Street, Mountain Time on Main, and she goes, okay, you need to help Mama find the elf so she can go down and buy a bottle of wine. So the little girl found the elf, and the mama come in and got her bottle of wine. She goes, oh, my little girl wanted the elf. I said, she can have the elf. Please take the elf back to her. But that I did that with 15 businesses on Main Street, and I was surprised that they all said, yeah, we'll do it. Well, because all they had to do was hide an elf.
Yeah.
And
it drove people to them. Yeah.
It did. And all the businesses, all the comments I've heard from people is that they loved it.
I love the idea.
And so I'm thinking that they're going to, maybe utilize some of Joyce's ideas for their own business too for future.
What I want to bring up is it's a slow process. People have to see what one group is doing for a while, and you don't need to get everyone involved. You just need to get a core group to work together over a while, and then they'll go, what are they doing over there? They seem to be having a lot of fun. They seem to be getting more business. And I just want to footnote, this doesn't happen overnight. You think, oh, why wouldn't everyone do this? No.
Yeah. No.
People are people. They have to work. They have to see it. They have to sniff around and see what's going on. And it takes a while. But in the meantime, you've clearly made a profound difference in both of your businesses by doing it. So, ultimately, at the end of the day, no matter how much you want to help your community, you got to make enough money to feed yourself and keep the lights on and get products. And it's had a clear effect on that. And it's going to take a while. Like that might take a year for them to bubble up for the next elf thing or something else. So I think that's such a good point, is it's okay. It takes a while. Keep working together and contacting them. But also, Denise, I'd like to mention you've also done some work getting involved in the town in some. And I think that's so important for businesses to be involved in the town. Like, it's so important that we get that mixed voice in there. I think businesses, they'll have the downtown development, but they'll go, well, I'm not political. Well, you are, because if you don't work with the town, something will happen that might damage all your businesses.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And I sit on town council in Burnsville. I feel so fortunate that the prior mayor and the mayor we have now are very strong-minded in small businesses, helps your community. It's the core of the community. And so it is important to have a voice in town council, even if people don't sit on boards, if they go and participate and be aware of what's going on, because there are so many opportunities that town councils and county commissioners help small businesses. And I think we're very fortunate here in Yancey County too. Our county commissioners are very much strong-minded in a good small business base here. They put out commercials on the radio all the time to say shop local, visit our Burnsville and Yancey County shops and businesses. So it is very important, Martin. You are correct.
One thing I want to talk about is the equipment you use, because people think they need expensive equipment. Would you talk about the fancy and expensive gear you use for your videos? There it is. Oh, that looks like just a smartphone.
Yep. And I have a tripod that I can use sometimes. And that's it.
How can I say this without bragging?
Please brag for a change. You're too humble.
Photographing shoes, I never thought it was going to be difficult, but it is. Yeah. And so I found a way to do it two ways. One is a dollar poster board from, Dollar General.
Right.
And then the other one is on the top of my cabinet in a great lighting area in the shop.
So, that's it.
And so other businesses have come by and said, how do you get such good photos for your product? And I said, go down to Dollar General and find a nice corner in your shop. It doesn't take a lot of money.
And I just use I have my mural back here, and I take all my pictures. And whenever that pops up, people know that that's from Burnsville 1. So, I have had that done a long time ago. So I just keep using it.
But it's also learning to pay attention to those things and look around. Like you said, it's not rocket science. And the other thing, Joyce, I want to just mention is the remote. That's like an $8 item on Amazon. I loved it because I contacted them and I said, can you mail? They go, we can't mail it there. So I called your chamber and I said, and I've had this before, mailboxes everywhere. And I said, chamber now, and Joyce, I want to say now she is a member. I don't want to get you mad at me now. So, oh, she's a great member. Okay. Because I thought I would send it to Denise if she weren't a member. And I sent it to the chamber and it got to you. And it's just a little bitty thing that people can get. And it gives you a Bluetooth connected. Now you might need to get a 12-year-old to help you hook it up, right? But
yes.
that's the thing to understand. That's not a lot of money. And just project your voice, have it clear, find the way to stage it, like you said. And this is clearly a way that small businesses are leaving on the table money because they aren't leveraging what they have as their greatest asset, which is them.
Well, I think I may have bought a Facebook ad once. I've never bought another one. I don't buy ads at all.
Right.
I just put it out there and let it fly with whatever it'll do. But that goes back to being consistent. You're always you say you do and say what you say you're going to do. So and my customers know that. So
and going back to what David asked too before was even if say you do a video and it doesn't get you a lot of feedback or a lot of people through your doors at the time, don't dismiss it. It might just not have been the right week for that, because then it's like you try it again, you do something kind of similar, and then you get a great reaction from it. So consistency and just keep trying different things. Just because one thing didn't work at one time doesn't mean it's not going to work again in next month.
Yeah, just keep trying, because like I said, it takes a while sometimes for things to get in people's brains, and it's like, oh yeah, I should do that. I should go to the shoe store.
Yeah.
But
a bottle of good wine.
Yeah, it just takes it takes people like, duh.
Mm-hmm.
It takes them a while to get it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. That's one of the issues that in my former job is like it didn't work one time. They did it once and it didn't work. I'm like, and so they wouldn't do it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And timing's everything. So same in retail.
I think the other theme that seems to be really key here is the focus on creating partnerships and the community involvement, because the old saying, a rising tide raises all ships.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my sense of it from what I've seen is that people like first of all, other businesses appreciate when you promote them as well as yourself, but I also see customers actually like seeing that you promote other businesses, because it shows something about the character of your business.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I actually appreciate when I see a business that promotes another company that I didn't know about, and now there's things that I want to buy from this other business, and I'm thinking, well, I probably wouldn't have found out about them if somebody hadn't. If they hadn't done it. So how great of a role would you say that community partnership has played in your overall development of your businesses?
I think a major part, because whenever somebody buys something and you give them that coupon, it's like, oh wow, that's a good idea. I've not ever had anybody say, well, I don't want it. They say, well, that's really neat. You all are promoting each other. I've had numerous times people have said that, and they sort of look at the shoe store. Oh, okay. They didn't quite think of having wine and shoes together, but okay.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, people like it whenever businesses cooperate and work together, even though you might not ever know it. But like I said, when I hand them that coupon, they get a smile on their face and say, that's pretty cool. You all are promoting each other. Yes.
And a lot of locals and visitors really recognize that, because it's a definite feel on Main Street and the whole entire Burnsville area. People are like, wow, you guys, your businesses, they all work together and they refer to each other, and it really brings a a positive sense to the whole area, and people feel that, and people like that, and I think it does make a difference.
It does. And I let people come in and they'll say, where, suggest a place to eat dinner, you know, or, you know, they'll ask, you know, they ask the wine shop, where would you eat dinner? A lot of times. And, you know, they're just curious. And a lot of times I say, I feel like I've talked their ear off. Because when people come in, I say, I ask about visiting, where are they from, blah, 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 blah. And I say, well, have you been to Mount Mitchell? And they go, we're going there tomorrow. I said, okay. I said, be sure you wear warm clothes, because it's always a lot cooler up there, you know. Or have you been here? Or, you know, I asked them, have they been to Banks Jewelry? I said, you will not find another jewelry store anywhere like this until you go to Asheville. I said, have you been to Sandy's? I said, it's like walking into a department store. You would never believe that this little store exists in Burnsville, because we have some of the most unique shops on Main Street that are not in small towns.
Mm-mm.
And so we're real blessed to have business people that are, you know, have some really cool establishments here in Burnsville that we can say, hey, you need to go there, or hey, you need to go visit this place. So
one other thing I'm curious about is, do you see anything new coming down the horizon in 2023, or anything that from your standpoint that seems to be shifting or trending in a different direction from what you've seen before, as far as the way people interact with local businesses, or just consumer attitudes or anything like that?
one thing I think people, they're watching their money more.
Mm-hmm.
They're not where they used to get a $25 bottle of wine. They may only get a $15 bottle.
I see more in my store, which, you know, we have different products. I see people being really selective on like buying quality. Sorry, let me take that back.
Sure.
Quality, like they're going to buy a pair of boots or shoes that's going to last a good solid year, maybe 2, 3, for, you know, different seasons. And so, but also too, I've noticed a lot of people too really like coming to visit and actually being a part of the community here, and shopping and spending more time being part of like the downtown Main Street area and really enjoying it. Because I just think it's really catching on that, you know, small business, personalized service, you know, good quality of product. I think people are really, really attracted to that now. It's not so much just clicking online and getting something. I think they want the whole experience and customer service.
Yeah, that's a great point, because a lot of younger people are going for experiences, and the more you can share how being there is an experience. And if you don't have as much money to spend, slow down and enjoy what the journey of being and walking around the town. And I think that's it. And Dave, I also think another piece on the coming year is it's going to be more important businesses like yours work together. Because if people have less money and they can go, oh, here's a place I just get shoes. Oh, here's a place I get shoes, have an experience or some interesting things. And maybe we can walk around town and get an ice cream cone or check out that wine shop. When you stack the value of the experiences on top, and they have to be a little more careful with their funds, they're going to probably pick the one that will have the courage to share more of what the experience of the area is.
You know,
I agree totally.
Well, I also, when Joyce, you had talked about talking people's ear off and educating them about what all the attractions are nearby. I mean, I think that has tremendous value, way more than a lot of people might necessarily recognize right off the bat. But just like I even think about, I mean, you know, whether it's somebody that's new to town and they don't know what, or even somebody that's lived there a long time. I mean, I'm never find that there's you never run out of new things to discover even after you've been there for a long time. And I think that's just, you know, again, it's something else you don't get from the greeter at Walmart, as you know, somebody that where there's really a relationship, and just where it becomes each small business becomes a little hub that, people just becomes part of an ecosystem.
Well, that's the way my wine tastings are. It's amazing. The regulars, the local regulars that, come every Friday. If they're in town, they come to my wine tasting. And I've had them say, this is our Friday night out. This is our date night.
Yeah.
They're happy to come and just and enjoy visiting with the folks that are here. They've all become great friends. It's amazing the number of people who have become friends that would not have ever known each other if it hadn't been for the wine shop. I'm amazed at the number of people that it's phenomenal, and they're all local folks, and so I think it's really great that they're, one, very supportive of me, and two, that they have found folks that they have a lot in common with. And then, they come and they sit in this little room and they'll visit and they'll stay here the whole 2 or 3 hours just visiting with folks. And, I just am amazed at how local folks are so supportive of me, especially on Friday evenings.
I love it. Well, this has really been wonderful, and I'm going to make sure to have the links for both of your stores below. And I invite people to drop in and see you and tell them Dave and Martin sent you as well. And this is also why Dave and I created the small business brick and mortar roundtable. So it's like a community to support businesses like yours on Alignable. And we'll put the link about that below as well. And this has just been absolutely delightful. When I share your videos in my classes, people go, oh, they're wonderful. And so I want you to let it all soak in and feel the love and keep going, because you're an inspiration to more people than you realize.
Oh, good. Well, thank you, Martin. But it's all, we owe so much credit to you for, pushing us and saying, get over yourself, just do it, and it'll be great. And we thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
It's been wonderful working with you. It really has. We really do appreciate you.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching tonight or watching the replay wherever you're out there. And you can find more videos like this in our ongoing series on the Main Street Mastermind. And we hope you'll come to join us and as we build out this community of brick and mortar businesses. So till next time.
Great. Take care,
Bye.
folks.
Thank you.
Bye. See ya.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.